Morning, everybody. My name is Cuauhtémoc Subillaga. I'm your facilitador for this Módulo 7 from Prepa en Línea CEP. And I just want to say welcome. Let's begin. Today, we're going to talk about simple past and past continuous. For that reason, before we get into our actividades, let me begin with this. Okay. Now I want to go to this PowerPoint presentation I got right here for you. And here we go. So let's talk about the simple past first. For actividades 3 and 4, you're going to need simple past and past continuous. And so I'm going to try to give an example on how you can use it. It's super easy. Don't worry about it. And let's begin. So this is simple past. Use the simple past. We're going to talk about meaning, form or structure, grammar structure, and some examples. So what does exactly mean the simple past? Well, we use simple past when we want to talk about activities that already finished. Activities that are done, not today, not in the future, but in the past tense. And sometimes expressions that are useful for the past, like yesterday, last month, last year. So let's get into. So it's easy to make simple past. We just need always at the beginning, we need subject, verb, and complement. So since we're talking about past tense, the verb goes in simple past. So here we have example number 1, subject, I, verb, past tense. Now you don't say sí, now we say saw, past tense of sí, ver, Maria yesterday. Last Friday, students took their spelling and vocabulary tests. So students is subject, took is a verbo in past tense. Took, you don't say take, you say took their spelling and vocabulary test. And that's it. Another one. They got married 2 years ago. Time expression, 2 years ago. Subject, they, verbo in past tense. You don't say get, we say got married. And that's basically. How do we form the simple past tense? Easy. So there's 2 ways of doing it. Just before that, we need to remember that we have regular and irregular verbs. So let me give you an example first of these verbos, and let's check if they are regular or irregular. So we have teach, taught, walked, study, studied, give, gave, became, become, became, cry, cried, live, lived, die, do, did. Number 1, it's irregular. Number 2, walked, it's regular. How do you know it's regular? Well, because it finishes with ed. Every time you see a verb that finishes with ed, that means it's past tense and it's regular. So easy, studied, is regular because it finishes with ed. Gave does not finish with ed, that means it's irregular. Became, irregular. Cried finishes with ed, so that's regular. Leave finishes with ed, and did, irregular. Okay, so regular verbs are those who finish with ed. That's what we were just mentioning, right? And this is the past tense. Walk, study, cry. There's just some examples. Past tense, just walk, that finishes with ed, walked. Study, studied. Cry, cried. Leave, lived. Okay. The irregular ones, past tense, became. It's not become it. It changes completely. It's irregular, so you say became. Give, gave. Drive, drove. Forget, forgot. Some other examples of irregular ones. Let me say teach, taught. It just changes a little bit. Bring, brought, leave, hear, heard, buy, bought. And just some examples. Just it doesn't matter if it's regular or irregular. It will be always after the subject. So we have Celia as a subject, bought as past tense, a new computer, last weekend. Last weekend is our time expression. And basically that's it. Some irregular verbs don't change at all. Like for example, hit is the same thing. Simple and simple past, it'll be the same. Put, set. So how do you know if it's simple past or past? Well, it's just with the context. You will get with the context. That's why sometimes time expressions are important. The children set the table every Sunday. The children set the table last night. So example number 1, it's simple past because it's talking about every Sunday. It's not an activity that it's finished. It's something that's happening constantly. The children set the table last night. This one is past. Okay. Let's see. For regulars that finishes with ed, it's easy. So play. When I was a child, I played the piano. Why? Well, because this activity is already done. Long time ago, past tense. Donna, visit Paris. Past tense, visited. It's an activity that's already done, finished. Okay. We have some other ones. For example, send, have, and do. The spelling is a little different. We just have to just be careful with it. Last week I sent you a letter. Students, you didn't say have, we say had. Students had an English exam yesterday, last week, last month, whatever. Okay, just some examples. So what happens when if it's negative? It's really easy. All we have to do is just add the word not and the auxiliary did. So we can do the complete form, or we can do contractions. We can say did not, or you can say did plus the verb. Here's an example. I went to work yesterday. That's the regular one. So if we want to make it negative, so we use auxiliary did plus not. That's did not go to work yesterday. Just an example. Verb to be is an exception. We don't use did or did not. So we say was or where, depending on the subject, if it's singular or plural. And that's it for the simple past. You're going to need simple past for activity 3 and 4. Easy. And let me show you how it goes. This is past continuous. So what we do is the verbo goes with ing instead of past tense like we did before. And we have auxiliary verb to be in past tense, which is was or were, depending on the subject. If it's singular, I was. You, we, and they, it's were. He, she, and it, it's was. Okay, this is not the verb of the sentence. This is the auxiliary that shows that the tense is in past tense. And then the ing, that's what gives us the gerundio, the gerund for ing. In Spanish, ando yendo. In English, ing. So you don't say playing, say jugando. Right? So it's the same thing in English. We don't say play, we say playing with ing. Was the teacher explaining grammar at school last Monday? No, she wasn't. She was explaining geography. So we have was here in the beginning for a question, verbo ing, and complement. Subject. Was the teacher explaining grammar? No, she wasn't. Negative. She was explaining. Affirmative. Auxiliary, verb, ing, and that's it. If it's interrogative, all we do is we just change the auxiliary to the beginning, subject in the middle, verb at the end with ing. What if it's negative? Oh, it's super easy. All you have to do is just add the word not to the auxiliary, which you can do it in like the complete way, or you can do it contraction. You can say was not or wasn't. You were not, weren't, was not, wasn't playing. So when we use past continuous, well, when we want to talk about actions that were or was in progress at a specific time in the past. Specific time in the past. That's the difference with simple past. Simple past is just something that happened, but you're not being specific. For the past continuous, yes, we are being specific. Example, what were you doing yesterday at 8 o'clock? I was preparing breakfast. So I'm being super specific, like very specific that it was yesterday at 8 o'clock. So then I need ing. And that same one, were you working yesterday at 10 p.m.? No, I was watching TV at home. Simple past and past continuous. We use them together when something happened in the middle of something else. For example, the police broke his ankle while he was running after the dog. So that's two situations in one. And here's another example. Just super easy. Let's imagine this happened yesterday. So we just use auxiliary where because it's plural, it's they. And then the verbo play with ing, playing soccer. They were playing soccer. Here's another example. She was cocinando, for example. One more. It was raining. Subject, auxiliary, verbo, ing. For actividad integradora 3, a happy day that says, remember the happiest day of your life, and then write up what happened. So here's where we're going to use those simple past and past continuous to talk about. It says right here, recuerda el día más feliz de tu vida and escribe acerca de lo que sucedió. Okay. And then I want to talk about this one right here. It says, record the reading of the story of your happiest day and the paragraph of the importance about knowing the past. My suggestion for this one is do not try to read it fast. Fast doesn't necessarily mean good or nice. You can just do it slowly, just check on your commas, and just do it nice and slowly, and just with a little practice, we'll get to it. Okay? Don't worry for pronunciation. You'll get with that with the practice. And before we go, I want to recommend this dictionary where you can check pronunciation. And this is, wait, just give me 1 second. It's, the name of this is Merriam-Webster. Merriam-Webster dictionary. It's like, let me give you an example very quick right here. Just click on any browser. You go to Merriam-Webster dictionary. It's free. This is what I like about this one. So right here, you see it, that little speaker, you click on it,
musician,
and it gives you the pronunciation, right? And then it also gives you synonyms, examples in sentences. It's not just the definition, but also in the definition, a composer, conductor, performer of music. So that's my suggestion for this week. Any questions? You know, you can always send messages. And here we go. So, any questions, please let me know. And I wish you have a nice week, and probably I'll see you again next Wednesday for Semana 3. Okay, thank you very much.